Hey guys, this is Andy from AA Gaming Tech, and I've had the Ticwatch E for a few days now, and I think it's time for a AA Tech review. The first thing that I'd like to talk about this watch is just the general background information on this watch. So this watch, it's by the company called Mobvoi. I think that's how they pronounce the name. Probably massacred it, but you know, it's okay. And but this company has also made the Ticwatch 2, and that watch was quite popular. But then that was using its own Ticwear OS operating system. But a lot of people complained and they wanted the Android Wear. So then because the Ticwear, it couldn't support all apps. So then they switched it to Android Wear. So now you can have all the apps that you want, or slash need. And then now This is the watch that has the Ticwear, not Ticwear, Android Wear, and this is called the Ticwatch E. So this watch goes for about $160 right now, but since it's Black Friday, you can use the code called BF20, I think, or BF Sale 20, and then you can get this thing for 20% off. So you can get it for $128 with free shipping. And I think you can also get it not just on their website, but on Amazon. And that should also give you fast shipping. But I got my watch on Kickstarter. If you want to see my unboxing, then I'll also have that link down below in the description below. Just link in the description below. But yeah, this is basically a smartwatch that can do everything else that a more expensive watch like a Samsung Gear or Apple Watch can do at just a fraction of the price. So now that you have some background information, let's get into it. Let's first talk about the hardware. This smartwatch has a 1.4-inch, 287 pixels per square inch OLED screen that I personally think is very nice and quite clear, and you can see everything. Everything is okay, and didn't have any screen problems, which is nice because some products, the Nintendo Switch did have some people did have some screen problems, but currently I am not having any problems with the screen, so that's good. And this device, or this Ticwatch, also has a 1.2 gigahertz dual core processor, which even though it sounds sort of weak, it's not that bad because you don't really need to do that much processor heavy things, I guess. Like nothing that you do really needs to require lots of processing power, because you're not going to do anything like serious gaming or something on here. But I will talk about some apps that you should get on the Ticwatch E later on. But okay, let's moving on from the processor. This device also has 512 megabytes of RAM, which also doesn't sound like such a great number, but compared to like the smartphones that all have like 4 and 6 and like even 8 gigabytes of RAM these days. But just as I said before, remember that this is a smartwatch, and like you don't need to do that much, like I guess hardcore processing and many difficult tasks, like you know, working like 6 minus 4 or something is easy on here. So that's good. Okay, so next off, I'm talking about the battery capacity. So this thing has a 300 milliamp battery, and right now it's at 302. I charged it this morning, and it's at 65%. And right now on the settings, I'm not using an always-on display right now, as you can see here. It's not an always-on display right now. Like you can change it, but that really drains your battery a lot quicker. As somebody in the comments asks how much battery you get with that, I think you might make it through a day, but that would also be quite difficult. But even with this, with my settings right now, I basically made it like the screen right now. The display has the brightness is at 3, which is 1 out of 5. But like I'm not using the always on display, and the only other gesture that I'm using is tilt to wake. And so right now And right now I feel like the battery, even though it says it's 48 hours, I hardly expect anybody to get 48 hours out of this. And I think that recently I've been charging this device every night, and even without the always on display, usually I'm left with around 30 to 40% battery life left, which is not that great, but I hope it's just a software thing and they're able to fix it, but I hardly doubt it. So that is one of the problems with this smartwatch, is the battery. And the battery it's just not long enough. Like, charging every night, it says it's supposed to last up to 48 hours. Like, I was hoping for something at least a bit more than just 24 hours. And like I thought, like, with an always on display, you'd probably just make it through 24 hours a day, but without the always on display, you'd probably make it through to 48 hours. But I guess I was wrong. So that felt like a bit more informed there. Okay, now I'd like to talk about the design and look of the watch. And I feel like this watch, it doesn't look that bad, but as I said before in my first impressions and unboxing video, this watch is pretty thick. But I feel like I didn't notice it that much, and it's pretty light, so that's also good. And the included watch strap, I talked about in my unboxing how it might attract dust and some stuff like that. But so far it hasn't really attracted much dust after a few days, which is a good sign. And the watch strap is, I think it is rubber and it is quite comfortable to wear. But a problem is that when you start to like run around and things like that, it gets a bit stuffy and it's sort of hard for your wrist to breathe. But besides that, I think everything else is about the design and like the looks and the feeling of it is pretty good. Okay, so the next thing I like to talk about is the software on the watch, because we just finished with the hardware. So right now, this watch is, I think, running Android Wear 2. Let me check about versions. Yeah, it's running Android 2.6. It came out of the box as Android 2.0, but then like about 2 or 3 hours in, I got an update to change this to Android Wear 2.6. So this is just running plain old Android Wear. I guess they also come with like a few apps that they get. For example, as I said before in my unboxing, they have like the agenda, alarm, contacts, find my phone, fit, like all the fitness apps, health. They come with a flashlight, which it's not really a flashlight. It's just you press it and then it just lights up the screen. I guess that could be pretty bright if you want it in certain situations. But then also that comes with there's also some alarms, some settings, stopwatch, timer, Google Translate, which I think is pretty cool. And then they also have a weather app and like a Google Feed thing, sort of like on a phone. But then I also downloaded on my watch a calculator, and then this app called Facer. And Facer is what I use to get this watch face right now. So I use that. They offer like, I don't know, like a few thousand selections of watch faces for Android Wear, and then you can also create your own. And this is what I did for here. I made my own watch face. If you wanted me to make a video on how I did that, then you can comment down below about that. But I made this so that way, like when it's nighttime, then this background changes to like a beautiful starry night view. But then in daytime, it's just this mountain thing. And then also, like, I had a bunch of stuff. If you want me to go in detail, as I said before, then leave a like and then comment down below if you want to see that. Okay, I guess that sort of leads me to my next point, which is what apps you should get on your Ticwatch. And somebody commented that in a description of my unboxing video, and in that video I just said that I had the watch face app thing that I said Facer, and that's a very useful app, as I said before. As I just said, I like that app a lot because you can do many things with it, like create your own watch face or choose from their watch faces. But a lot of the apps that I thought I would need to get, But it turns out that a lot of apps, you don't really need to get a lot of apps on here because they already come with a bunch of apps that you have. And I feel like none of these are actually bloatware. Like all of these apps I basically need and I can use, which is nice. And then I guess the only app that I don't really find useful is the flashlight. But I downloaded I think 2 apps. One of them is the calculator for just calculations, and then obviously, and then the other one is this game, and it's called Rontivity. So this game is very simple. All you do is tap, then you go around and around, and then just try to dodge these ball things. And although it's a simple concept, it's actually it's quite difficult to master, and it's really fun to play. So those are the only 3 apps I have so far. I think I might also do a video on just other apps that you can get for your Ticwatch and other Android watches. But right now, these are all the apps that I have. Okay, another thing that I'd like to talk about this watch is the fitness tracking of this watch. So on my watch face, I guess it does track like how many steps you have. And then I did say in my unboxing that this thing has a heart rate monitor. And that, although that is true, here I'll show you. The heart rate monitor doesn't track 100% of the time, and I think that's a problem because usually with like the fitness watches, like the Fitbit and stuff, Fitbit and the Garmin smartwatches, they all track how many steps you have, as well as having tracking your heart rate monitor 24/7, and they still have a pretty long battery life, which is longer than this. So I don't know if it's just my smartwatch that the heart rate monitor isn't like working, but I guess it's not really true that it's not completely working, because they do have an app that allows you to just track your heart rate. Like here, I'll show you right now. So if you go to your health, then there's something right underneath it called heart rate, and if you just click on that, then it'll just track your heart rate using But this problem about this is that it only tracks it for a limited amount of time, and it doesn't end up tracking your heart rate for the entire time. So that's another major problem that I had with this smartwatch, is that like it doesn't track your heart rate the whole entire time, and it only tracks it when you when you specifically press the heart rate tracking the heart rate monitor portion. But then I guess that's a problem. But everything else with the fitness tracking is, I guess, okay. But I guess that not having a heart rate monitor on 24/7 is a problem for some people. Now, staying with the trend of software, I'd like to show you what it's like when you receive a call from somebody else, and what it appears like on your smartwatch. So right now I have one of those old style phones that has my phone number on it, and I'm gonna call right now, and I'm gonna show you what it's like, what's gonna happen. Okay, so it's loading right now. So actually, let's put this off to the side here, and then I'll show you what happens. So then after it first, I think something's here. Yeah, see, then it's like it shows up. It says home, calling phone, and then I can either just hang up on it, and then it just stops, or I could have pressed. Leave your message for 6-1. Okay, or I could have answered it, pressing the green button, pressing answer, and then it would have shown up on my phone, and it would have answered it. And then, along with getting along with calls, you can also reply to text and send text. And there's multiple ways to do that. Well, first of all, there's some apps to do that, but I didn't really think that you really need it, because in your contacts, you're able to directly send a text message or something to. You can either call them directly from your smartwatch or text them through your smartwatch here. And another way that you could do this is by using the Google Assistant. I guess the Google Assistant is also sort of helpful because you also ask it the weather. But then again, you also do have a weather app down here, right here. You can use the weather app here. But then, so yeah, that's basically all the things I had to say on the software. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the 2 apps that you need to install in order for the Ticwatch to work, which is the Android Wear app and the Ticwatch app. And this, I feel like, is where the watch starts to fall apart. Because if you just go on, first off, let's go in the Ticwatch app. Now, the Ticwatch app, I feel like, is way too simple. Like, you can barely do anything in the app. Like, all you have is your health center to track, like, the amounts of steps you have, your calories and things like that, distance in miles and your active hours. And then besides that, you can, the other thing that you get is basically just some basic information, like Bluetooth connected and the battery life of your smartwatch. And then if you go into your settings, then you also get, like, to add some emails and things like that. But I feel like just in the app, I wish I could do more. Now, I talked about this in my unboxing too, and I know that it is a smartwatch and you're supposed to do most of the things on the smartwatch, but I feel like having a bit more things on the actual phone itself would help. And now here's the other app that you get for if you need the Ticwatch, if you have the Ticwatch. And then here is where you also get to change, like, your watch faces, and that's basically all you get to do on this app too, which I also feel like is disappointing. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, this is the list of watch faces that you get to have, that they start out with, but then obviously you can also download more from the different apps that you can get. But yeah, the apps I feel like are way too simple, and you can barely do anything with the apps. Okay, now I'm moving into the conclusion. So, is this watch worth it? Well, this watch, I guess the short answer for this is yes, because right now it's only $128, 20% off right now of the Ticwatch E, and I feel like it's a pretty good deal. But then the few problems that I had with it were, as I said, it was thick, and then the heart rate monitor isn't always on. And then the battery life is not good. Those are the 3 main problems that I had with the Ticwatch E. And but everything else I loved about the Ticwatch E. Like, I like all the apps. I like how they use Android Wear. And then I love the screen, as I said. The screen's very nice. And then this is also very smooth. And then I also like how they include Google Assistant and everything else that you have in Android Wear. And the design is not bad, but yeah, as I said before, the only cons that I have for this is the thickness, how the heart rate monitor isn't always on, the app, and yeah, that's basically it. So I feel like if you don't want to spend that much money on, like, those big name brands like the Samsung or the Asus Zen watch or the Apple Watch, then this could be the watch for you. Now, that's the end of my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on AA Gaming and Tech. Peace.